This is a presentation of RVT Entertainment.
This isn't about the dead, it's about the living. It's about my mother. It's about my sister. It's about my wife. It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to un-goddamn deniable.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Because I'm better than you, and you know it.
In the back, there are men and women. Seasoned professionals, dues paid in full, gunning to be the best.
I'll always light the way, and all you have to do is let me in.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wrestle Cast, presented by RVT Entertainment on Podomatic.com, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else we find us. Fine audio recording and live on RVT Entertainment's official Twitch.tv channel. We talk about professional wrestling, both in the mainstream and the independent scene. I must say that Shintigercurl will not be available with us this evening, as he is feeling under the weather. We do wish him a good evening and a good weekend and a speedy recovery. You got to talk about Impact next week, buddy. You know that. But rest up. No shame in taking a day off. Believe me, sometimes it's just necessary. But until then, my name's Matty J. That is TWK.
That's right, sucker. I'm T-Dub of TWK Reviews. Ha ha!
T-Dub, I appreciate it, but you know damn well Shintigercurl's better at the impression intros.
I know. That's why I am not doing the impression, sucker.
Just say shucky ducky quack quack so I can give you your steak for the good effort.
Quack, quack.
Thank you. And how you doing, T-Dub?
I'm doing quite fine.
This has been, it wasn't an uneventful week. We had night two of New Year's Smash, which was an event, and we will obviously discuss that in the first segment. But compared to last week, the first week of the year, mind you, this is uneventful comparatively. So this might wind up being a shorter show, but we will see. We might do a Q&A in the middle of it. But until then, we still have a show. We are discussing the news and happenings in the world of wrestling. Go ahead.
Prepare yourselves for the news segment, because one of the stories I have is going to make your head spin.
Oh, if I know what you're talking about, I've heard rumors. If that's true, oh, shit. Yeah, I think one of those questions when that pops up was wait, that's true? Oh, I am clenching already. But we got the news, as Tita mentioned. We might have a Q&A, so have that ready, of course. And we have Impact. Third segment. Impact's got a pay-per-view on the Fight app and pay-per-view providers. Hard to Kill. You might have heard it. We'll discuss it, of course. And all of that good stuff. Shall we get to the clip of the week? I think we should get to the clip of the week. Should we get to the clip of the week?
I think we should get to that too sweet clip.
Yeah, he said that because he knows what's coming up. I told him. Ladies and gentlemen, all was going fine on New Year's Smash on Wednesday. We were advertised the return of the Elite as a trio against a bunch of jobbers, and sure enough, Kenny Omega entered the ring. Don Callis said, hey, I got this, backstage before the whole thing started. He said, no, I'll introduce everybody, we're cool. Well, Don Callis proceeded, you know what? He did his job as advertised. Maybe not how either of us expected it. Well, you know. The sound clip's worth 1,000 words. Take a listen.
As we all know, Kenny, this is history tonight. Kenny, the band is back together. Courtesy of Kenny Omega and Don Callis, the Dream Match, the Dream Six-Man, the band is back together. So without further ado, let me introduce these two very special people in your life, Kenny. Your World Tag Team Champions and Kenny Omega's, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Kenny. Your World Tag Team Champions and Kenny Omega's two best friends in the world, ladies and gentlemen, the Good Brothers!
What? What the?
Business is business, but my goodness, best friends, they're forever, aren't they?
Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows are Kenny Omega's partners? This is supposed to be the Elite.
This is a charade is what this is. This is a complete charade.
Well then. And you can see what you don't see in the clip is what you don't see in the clip, or if you see it in the clip but not in what I played, you can barely hear the young bucks in the background with Tony Khan going, "That's how it is, huh?" Okay, that's how they play. And a match happened, and obviously Kenny and the what is now known as the Super Elite, or as Tita brought up the Cuck Bucks, the Young Cucks. Gallows and Anderson ought to use that as the name now, really. But there was a brawl, and then the Bucks tried to calm things down, and then the Lucha Brothers super kicked their faces off. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what, 2, 3, 4, about a couple months into this. Yes, it's slow burn, but and obviously the holidays happened, but you know, big happenings. The build-up begins, ladies and gentlemen. The build-up begins. Yeah.
Yeah, before we go any further, guy answer Guts Master in the chat. He that the six-man tag with the Super Elite against the Varsity Blondes and Danny Limelight went longer than expected. Same here. However, it was not squashed. You know, it's not different in trios match. Just decided to give Danny Limelight and the Varsity Blondes a bit of heat. You know, give them some time to shine, because those three have been doing some absolutely amazing work on.
Yeah, on Dark, they've been, you know, the Varsity Blondes especially are amazeballs. And, you know, if this was a squash, they wouldn't have taken that to a break, which is what they did. I'm trying to remember if they did picture-in-picture, but you get the idea.
They did a
picture-in-picture. So, yeah, they went through a commercial break. So that just tells you, okay, they want to give some people the shine, but they realize, you know, give people the shine, but really, let's be honest, you expected this to be a Omega Good Bros win. That's what it was. But for what it was, hey, good effort has some stake to the Varsity Bros, obviously.
Yeah, I see big things for all three of those people's careers in the future.
Mm-hmm. I see a lot of big things for the waiting room, which that was chaos, that was cringe. But like I said on Twitter, that might have been cringy, but that's what a heel is supposed to be. They're supposed to be a little bit of cringe.
And I also love how it's a complete throwback to the old school WWF talk shows where they have it by the stage.
That's an aesthetic that I think that is so sorely missed.
For once, we had a talk show that was not in the ring.
Which is nice.
How long has it been? 25 years?
Too fucking long.
Seriously, let's take a look at all those talk shows WWE have had in the ring. Mm-hmm. There's the highlight reel. Carlitos Cabana. Rene Dupree had one.
Yeah. Rene Dupree. Yeah, cup of coffee, but yeah, it happened.
Yeah, there's a couple episodes of, his talk show. Fucking goddamn. Christian had one. Edge had one. Kevin Owens. The man.
To be fair, Kevin Owens was literally a sign, and that was when it was the Kevin Steen show. So there are some shows that are just better. Hey, let's just put a sign in the ring, and hey, mics, and do what you got to do. But the waiting room is you needed that old school aesthetic. I will say this though, as much as I like that segment, unless you intend to put Jade Cargill in the ring in the next month, do not put her on a microphone ever again until then. That to me is like, I'm not sold. I'm sorry. The whole Shaq thing that she keeps bringing up, I'm sorry. No.
This. My work overall was better here than it was last time.
Fair being fair, you're right, but at the same time, it's still not enough. I mean, especially, you were talking, Britt Baker's a better talker. Reba, the Rebel, is a better talker. Look, you and I agree that she needs work. That's for sure. But for me, it's like for me, it's like all this talk, and you're making me not want to watch your matches. And that's the opposite effect. I need a match with Jade Cargill in the ring. It doesn't have to be long. It could be a squash match, but I need proof that she's actually worth the effort, the promo effort, before I want to watch another promo of hers. Because that's insta-mute for me now.
Well, it does look like we're getting a match between her and Red Velvet in the very near future, I assume, because...
Please make it, book it. Though, again, a lot of people were turning off. I said, listen, cringe is fine. Like I said, there was a lot of chaos. V1 didn't particularly appreciate it, but he appreciated the old school aesthetic and all this stuff. I'm like, you know what? Take for what it is at this point. It was a setup to plug Cody's show with the Go Big show, which they had a special presentation, and I happened to watch that special presentation. I found thumbs up, obviously. Hey, stunt show, yay! And Snoop Dogg being Snoop Dogg, cool. But that's beyond the point. Darby Allin versus Brian Cage, match of the week for me. I don't know about you.
Yeah, but during that, before we continue, during that waiting room segment, we also got the confirmation that during Beach Break, we will be seeing Britt Baker go 1-on-1 against Thunder Rosa.
She didn't want it. The good doctor said, "No, it's off. I don't have to wrestle." And they show the graphic. No, hit the music. I don't have to know. Yeah, well, here's the thing. You were supposed to wrestle her this week, this past week, lady. We don't wait at all.
Nope. Can't wait. That should be a pretty good match, I'd say, because Britt Baker's been showing a lot of improvements in the past several months.
Yeah. And for those wondering why we didn't have that match this week as advertised, well, we'll get to that. Because it is related to another story that we need to discuss. Another big story this week that did indeed happen.
Yeah, but let's see what else. Let's add the Inner Circle conflict once again. This seems to be rearing its head almost every other week.
Hey, why is your hand darker than your face? You're ruining it, dude. You're ruining it.
And the comment, one thing I do love is how you can tell they all have legitimate issue with each other, and they also realize that Jake Hager is best speaking when he just does sound bites.
Yes, championships, yeah.
And that's it. Don't let him say anything else.
Yeah, nothing else. Oh, except when he's really angry and needs to express emotion that is anger, like he did last week. That's cool, but championships, yeah. Nice. By the way, before we continue, I want to say this on there. MD Commissioner, at the beginning of the show when we were hitting the music, you see how much of tonight's show will be spent making me feel guilty about liking Goldberg as a child. One, no one's gonna judge you. His run in WCW, like his streak up until the end of it, was fucking awesome. It's today's old Berg that fucking sucks. That there's a massive difference. Okay, back to the stuff. Back to tag team slut.
I'm glad that Sammy brought that up because the fact that first Jericho's tagging with Sammy, then with Jay, and now with MJF. It's like he's got to get with all the tag teams. He's tagging with everybody.
And then it all boils down to, hey, we're going to have a three-way to become, winner becomes the official tag team of the Inner Circle. It'll be Proud and Powerful. It'll be Jericho and MJF. And then it'll be Sammy and Hager. Sammy Hager.
I don't get it.
I understood that reference. Sammy Hagar, the Van Halen joke?
Yep. I don't think they're going to be able to drive 55.
Nope.
Hey, Retro Kid. I haven't seen you in a while.
Retro Kid. Well, welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome to the shit show.
So yeah, Inner Circle three-way tag team. That should be interesting. By the way, the fact that one faction can hold 3 tag teams, and it's not even one half of the division of the tag teams.
How fucking? You know what? This is let me bring that up because it's been a consistent discussion point for the first couple of weeks of this year. Do you think AEW should invest in some tag team into some trios straps? 6-man tag title? I
would say maybe by middle of summer, maybe. I think that would be like by then. I'd say
obviously not now because you need to build up the idea, but just in general,
within the next 6-7 months. Oh hell yeah, I would 100% be down
because they got the division. They could put a mid card belt for the tag team division at this point.
You mean the TNT tag team titles?
Maybe the TNT 6-man tag. Kind of like the never open weight 6-man tag, but not shit or throwaway.
Yeah, like I could definitely see some trios gold for AEW because Young Bucks have always been about the trios action as well as tag team action. They've had a few trios gold over the years, and I could definitely see them doing that again. Of course, there's so many trios. I mean, I'm sure Kip, Miro could find a third man. Maybe they could force Chuck Taylor to be a third man for their trios team.
Yeah, because Miro beat the crap out of Chuck Taylor, and he signed a piece of paper that says he has to be a butler till the end of the wedding, essentially.
So and of course there's also Death Triangle. There's Eddie Kingston, Butcher and the Blade. There's quite a few out there. There's like a few trios in Dark Order. There's a lot of things they can do with their trios division. The fact that their tag team division is this deep, it's so amazing.
It's deep enough for a secondary championship, which WWE thought they had the deep enough pockets, deep enough a women's division to have a tag teams in there. Turns out they didn't. Junior? Here in AEW, they got a deep enough tag team division to warrant a second set of tag team titles.
WWE doesn't even have a deep enough regular tag team division for 2 brand championships, let alone 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's insane just how you'd think that WWE, having the deep pockets they have and the longevity they have, would have consistently the deepest division for each championship. And yet when we look at their tag division, it's almost always non-existent. There are only like slight pockets every few years where it seems like they start to build some depth, and then they start breaking up the tag teams. Whereas as soon as they get their tag team division on fire, it starts going it's good, and then they just break up a whole bunch of tag teams.
Because Vince apparently has developed an anti-tag team complex all of a sudden.
It's like, I just don't understand, like, why is it that whenever a tag team gets really hot, that's when Vince is like, okay, now we have to break them up, and then one of them becomes a star, and the other one just sit it down to the mid-card. Who cares? That's just always been his mentality for like the past 25 years. It's maddening.
And folks wonder why I don't watch WWE Live anymore. That shit.
Oh, speaking of Death Triangle and Kingston and his crew, Pac and Kingston had one hell of a match to open the show.
They opened the night, and for a match that was advertised and built for months, you get the feeling that this whole damn thing ain't over.
Not by a long shot. Not by a long shot.
They beat the tar out of each other, and it's like the first match of the feud. Look, whenever they get the chance to do Blood and Guts, their version of War Games, It should not involve the Elite and Cody. It should literally involve Death Triangle and Eddie Kingston's family at this point. That's what it seems to be building up to.
100% agree. By the way, one thing that I love about AEW is that they always kick off every broadcast with one commercial-free match.
The thumb is up.
I just love that. Like, that's how you hook people in. It's just, here's the pyro, the ballyhoo, the announcers, then just get straight to like a 15-minute strip match, not one commercial break to be seen.
There's a ballyhoo, there's you do the ballyhoo, you do the thing, and then you have Jim Ross going, it's Wednesday night, you know what that means.
Which, by the way, I love how they've incorporated that to being their new opening phrase for the show. That's fantastic.
That's cool.
My next note here simply says, in all caps,
Baltimora! Baltimora?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, this is, okay. I got you. So, yeah, this was brought up last week on Dark, in case you missed it, but Jungle Boy, his independent wrestling entrance theme was Baltimore's Tarzan Boy. Guess what? Merry Christmas, Jungle Boy. Apparently, Tony Khan went on a spree, on a music rights spree. So yeah, that your Jungle Boy's theme song, permanent. That's it. Yay!
I can't wait until we have like 20,000 people in venues again to hear them start singing along to that.
That's gonna be something right there. That
He's
is going to be
like. I knew back in 2019, he had the potential to be a big star. With this song, he has the potential to be a star.
The minute they're back in crowds and they're singing that song, they're putting the TNT title on them, or they're putting plans together to put the TNT title on them. That is you could call that a hot take, call that a whatever, but no, that's going to happen. That is a yay.
There's so many people you could right now see the potential to see them becoming like TNT or world champions. You know, you got like John Silver, you got Jungle Boy, you got MJF. There's any just so much potential. I love it.
Good
it just
shit.
makes you happy to have hope again for future wrestling stars that feel like stars. Does that just put a big smile on your face?
People could call us AEW marks all they want, but you know what? They're doing their jobs.
Like, they're not perfect.
Crazy as it sounds, they're doing their goddamn jobs.
Obviously, the promotion's not perfect, but no promotion, unfortunately, is. And the positives that AEW hit are always they just feel like they're off the charts at the moment.
You know what? This brings up their weak. They're not perfect. Obviously, we could discuss the women's division all night long, but even this week the interview segment featuring the host, a woman, Dr. Britt Baker, and then the NWA women's title match between Anna Jay and Serena D, which was a nice bang, a solid
Anna
match.
Jay, Ty
Conti, thank you. But Ty Conti versus Serena D, that was awesome. That was a great match.
And those are two women signed to AEW. They might be for the NWA Women's World Title, but both of them are signed to AEW. And I'm actually starting to get worried about whether or not NWA is going to survive this year, considering the fact that so much of their talent has already left the company.
And some of them are sticking around for now. Obviously, Nick Aldis is sticking around for the long haul. But at this point, you have to start thinking, hey, we got a partnership going with AEW, and I have not been on a relevant stream of anything. I mean, they have the United Wrestling Network. If you watch it for forever, you want to watch it, it's awesome. But I don't know, man. Yeah, Devin the Great in the chat says NWA will survive, but I don't know, man. I don't have the buns loaded up. I don't feel like having the buns tonight, but I'd be hitting the doubt bun tonight at that, because at this point, this pandemic has been pure carnage for independent wrestling, and sadly as it is, NWA falls under that category right now.
Yeah, because it is just owned right now by Billy Corgan, and one has to wonder how much money he's going to continue to pour into it before he has to say, enough's enough. I can't keep doing this, because, he's not a billionaire, he's just a millionaire.
I mean, he could keep it going and do shows every once in a while. The thing was, before the pandemic, NWA Power was rocking. It was legit one of the things I would watch. Like for me, Tuesdays was Power and Dark. Now it's just Dark. AEW Dark, right, not just Dark in the room. Let's not get over dramatic here, folks.
And another interesting thing about Power is the fact that it being on YouTube was never supposed to be a permanent thing. They were, putting that there and eventually trying to shop that around to television stations.
They were literally Power. What the episodes of Power were just like a series of pilot episodes.
And due to the pandemic, they weren't able to do that. So it's just, oof. It's just,
they're keeping up, but here's the thing: the reality is, it's not gonna. They need a solid. Right now, they don't have the hot hand. That's the reality.
That's very true.
They had the hot hand. They had well, not the hottest hand, but last year they had a decent hand. They had a decent product and a decent following, yours truly included. This year,
same here.
In 2020, or should I say 2019, and then 2020 happened. This should be a serious discussion with Billy Corgan and Nick Aldis. What do? We have a world championship that while has some decent exposure on the internet, they may as well be in a vacuum right now.
Yeah, because they can't even I would imagine that right now they're only getting like half the audience they were getting on YouTube at the moment, if that. Mm-hmm.
Pretty much. They need, honestly, I would say if Billy Corgan's willing to let Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa go to AEW to do some matches, they should really spark up a conversation about bringing the NWA World's title involved. If only for a couple matches, just to give Nick Aldis his due, because his work in 2019 and 2020, he's had a couple of things that actually turned out good. Just not a whole lot of people cared, unfortunately.
Yeah, it really is a shame, the fact that he has been wrestling matches on that what was it, the United Wrestling Network?
United Wrestling Network, yeah, UWN.
And yet, they can't be getting anywhere near the audience they were getting on YouTube, so they need exposure, and they need it desperately.
Cody versus Nick Aldis 3 is a loose end, so to speak. You could work on that. You can't put the AEW World title on Cody, but hey, what about the NWA Heavyweight title? Obviously, that is a discussion for another day, but it's, we got sidetracked, obviously.
Yeah. Let's see. Next on the list, let's see. Deeb and Conti had, one hell of a technical masterpiece.
Absolutely.
Like, the transitions, the holds, more of that, please.
It'll go unnoticed in the grand scheme of things, but it's a match to seek out.
As was Allen and Cage. That was some beauty right there.
Oh, just the story told was amazing. Just the story told at all.
Especially just the little things, because when Allen was first approached by Taz, it was because he screwed up a crucifix roll-up against Cody and got caught. And how did he defeat Cage here?
Crucifix roll-up.
He told Taz on that first night, I know what I did wrong, I don't need your help, and guess what? He was right.
Yeah.
As AJ Styles once said, pro wrestling's all about the little things.
And, obviously you go back to that first promo. It's like Taz took it like front. It's like he didn't say jack shit. He just walked away. Darby just, no, I don't need, no thanks. And Taz took it because I'm like, dude, I'm a veteran. You ought to be listening. And Taz got mad because, well, Taz gets mad at anything, really. Name a noun.
To quote Michael Cole, Taz hates everybody, including himself.
To be fair, I think he's starting to love himself. I mean, he is starting to wear good suits as a manager. Sometimes.
Indeed. One thing I almost forgot to bring up. Dark Order are baby faces now. Yay!
Apparently. I mean, there's no choice in the matter. They just lost their leader, and he was pretty much the driving force for them being heel. And John Silver is a babyface. Prove us wrong.
And does anyone really want to boo Dark Order at the moment? Does anyone really want to do so?
You need a gargantuan heel presence to turn that entire faction heel again. And especially this close after the passing of Brody Lee, that's not happening.
It's like Chavo Guerrero type gimmick where, after Eddie died, nobody wanted to boo Chavo for like 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
It took a long time before they could turn him heel.
I'm never about that. They are still called Dark Order with Evil Uno. Look, Evil Uno turned heel because he wanted to do something else other than being the video game luchador. Legit. He went to horror movie references. That's how he turned it heel.
By the way, I like to say, it's amazing how Evil Uno was able to take the whole Dark Order gimmick from the indie scene to AEW, because that's essentially what he was doing in the indie scene, except, with the Creepers.
Yeah. They just turned the Creepers into members of the Dark Order like that. There was a very different thing. It evolved.
As good things in wrestling should.
Yep.
So overall, I think it was a pretty productive episode of Dynamite.
Low key, but very, very good. I mean, low key in comparison, but it's a solid string of just excellent shows.
Of course, we have a few bits of COVID news in the world of
so about Thunder Rosa, so it's been said that she doesn't have the virus herself. She has not tested positive for it, but she has come into contact with someone who has tested positive. So it was deemed, okay, let's keep her off for a couple of weeks. And hey, more build-up. At this point, I'm not complaining.
Well, build-up means we get to be more excited for the match when it eventually happens.
That's it.
Isn't all net positive. Of course, we also had Drew McIntyre testing positive,
which is what I think you were going into. As a matter of fact, I was going to give you a nice little transition, a little bit of segue there. Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, I try. But that thing happened on Monday. You wake up, you're feeling good, you're about to not watch Raw, I'm at work, my phone buzzes, breaking news, Drew McIntyre tests positive, WWE, for the first time since the pandemic started, actually acknowledged, hey, we were going to lose somebody. Turns out he's our top guy. Fuck.
Thankfully, there's just enough time before the Rumble for him to get it all cleared out of his system.
Yeah, and this is one of those cases, yes, he has tested positive, but he has said himself, it's been a couple of days on his end. He is one of the lucky few who has not felt any symptoms at all. So it's a case of isolate, 2 weeks, test, make sure he actually doesn't have the fucking thing anymore, and then go kick Goldberg's ass.
So yeah, hopefully, it'll remain that way. And someone who apparently is not as with the virus right now is Demolition Axe.
Yeah, I've read that, unfortunately.
Yeah, and he's kind of up there in age, so hopefully he can pull through this.
Yeah. Back to Drew McIntyre. Back on Drew McIntyre, though. Apparently, Nick Jackson had it back in I think it was November or early October.
Around there.
He recovered, but his cardio was gone. He said it himself. His cardio was gone.
Yeah, he said he spent like almost every day in bed just feeling like garbage. And when you consider somebody who's healthy and in as much shape as him, and someone who is also completely drug-free, 100%, and yet even he got his ass kicked by this thing, that should tell you to wash your hand, mask up, distance yourself, because this thing is serious. This thing will kick your ass.
And if you can, and I'll add one thing to it: if you can work from home and stay home, stay the fuck home. That's what I've been doing for the last almost 1 year now. Fuck.
It's been like 8 or 9 months now.
I know. Damn.
Yeah. So like if someone like Nick Jackson, can get sick and just gets ass handed to him by this thing, stay safe out there. If you're out there, stay safe, please.
It's a weird aside, I'll admit it, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I remember the first week when the whole damn country was shutting down, and we were told we're given work from home orders. I was waiting for my software and stuff and things to actually start working from home, and so that last week before we all were all working at our offices, and then we got the official orders. Tuesday, it was just the two of us, the three of us, and then by day 3, I'm alone in the office. And then Thursday, Friday, for Thursday and Friday, it was like, I even brought my Switch on Friday. I said it was that dead in the office. But that's another story for another day. Sorry?
It's been creepy being there alone.
I mean, it was one of those things. I'm glad I had my phone and a few things to actually put some noise on, but yeah, it was one of those situations where I'm like, it was a tad creepy. Though, I was able to wear t-shirts, instead of like the regular. So, hey, trade up. Anyway, there was a moment on the night between Wednesday and Thursday where I felt a small fever. A very light fever, and the adrenaline kicked in because you think, oh, fuck, did I get it? Like, shit, did I get it? I never got the test because at that point, we didn't even know if what the test was going to take 2 weeks anyway. So I'm like, you shrug and then you move on, right? So it's been a curiosity more. Now it's more of a curiosity than a fear. It's been that ever since that first week, really. But you said they have tests for antibodies and all that stuff. It's still a curiosity. If I'm able to take a test for the antibodies of that virus, it's a curiosity. Did I ever get it at one point? It's a small aside, but it's one of those, I have to share this because it's one of those things. Yeah, you're doing everything safe and all, but did I ever have it? It's one of those weird things.
It's always best to, just keep your distance, just for the safety of everybody.
And I've been doing that. Been doing that.
Mask up, distance. That's what I like to do. Just nope. Just everyone, just nope. Stay with nope. Just nope.
I know it's a rights thing and all that stuff. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna wear my mask and mind my own damn business.
Oh, who else got COVID last year? Jericho.
Yeah, he. And if you're looking at the timeline, yes, that happened after his little gig in, what was that? Fuck. Sturgis, thank you. So, yeah, that's a thing.
Huh, who would have thunk? Go to an area where everyone's not wearing masks and people get COVID? Never would have thought.
No. Look, I'm half tempted to call Chris Jericho a dumbass in this case. I'm not. Because he's obviously not. But you see something like that, and then he admits that he had it. I'm like, no fucking shit, Sherlock.
Not only did he do this once, but he ended up doing another mass concert later that year.
So again, I do not want to call a veteran, a 30+ year veteran of the professional wrestling industry, a dummy, because I'm not. Because here, this shows is you. What I usually do is I review the guy as he is presented in the ring and not outside of it. But like, you know the fucking rules, idiot. You know.
You violated them twice.
And you violated. You danced with Corona Chan twice. Like, what do you expect? Fucking steak? Fucking Omaha steaks?
You ain't getting no Omaha steaks from COVID, man. That's a quick way to get a trip to the ER. That's what he's going to be getting if he keeps doing these maskless shows.
Jesus. Anyway. All right.
By the way, speaking of B, let's see what do I got next. All right, next up on the list is a company that can't decide whether its shoes are on or off, I guess one could say. Because Joe White has been taken on and off and on and off and on and off the roster page for New Japan.
So this is, we're talking about our buddy there. Look, people are saying he's got a contract for what? He's got 7-year contract and all that stuff. And then there's some people going, no, his contract is up. Pick a fucking lane. Seriously. He's in or he's out.
New Japan,
period.
Not only that, but New Japan themselves keep taking him on and off the page, and currently he is off the roster page.
Look, I'm fairly certain that he will land somewhere well. You know, no matter what happens, he will do something good. Pick something. Anything. Love a guy.
He picks Monday Night Raw.
There's going to be a whole lot of people disappointed if he chooses that death trap.
Just to lose to Oldberg.
You know, if he does, you know, if Jay White picks WWE, he better do it for a shitload of money. A dump truck full of money. 2 dump trucks.
He's not made of stone.
Damn right.
Of course, the last bit of news, which is simply titled, Val Venus WTF.
Oh, yes. Okay. I know. But for those who don't, they ain't ought to miss the dub.
Via 411mania.com, Val Venus briefly banned by Twitter for violation of, quote, child sexual exploitation policy, end quote.
That's a legit thing. That fucking happened. Yeah.
Let's see.
Head
tilter. Let me just continue. Yeah, just continuing this article verbatim. Val Venus, no libertarian, posted a series of messages last night revealing that Twitter briefly banned him for violation of their child sexual exploitation policy. He claimed that this was because he showed photographic proof that President-elect Joe Biden's son Hunter engaged in sexual activity with Molly Obama, who he says was doing cocaine. He then wanted to say Twitter and, quote-unquote, the left support that behavior, and that's why he was banned. You can see his post below, but... Of course, then they show just a whole bunch of his just friggin' insanity Twitter posts. Jesus Christ.
So, in case you've noticed, Val Venus has lost his fucking mind over the last few years. Fuck it. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm not even going to tell you the bit. What the wrestling? Fuck. I swear to God, if it turns out he was one of those idiots that did that thing last Wednesday, you know, that thing in the Capitol, there was a part of me that would be shocked, And then 2 seconds later, it would go to, oh, fucking course he did. It would not surprise me. It would not surprise me that any wrestler would be in there in that fucking mob. Hell, they got one of the U.S. swim team swimmer. He got Olympic swimmer, Olympic gold medal swimmer in there causing shit. I'm like, it would not shock me to find out a wrestler was in there.
Jeez, just every year it feels like he just keeps getting lower and lower and lower.
Look. Once it's past this pandemic, at this point, look, I'm not going to share my political policies. If you want to know, it's like, don't fuck up my country, you get my vote. It's pretty much what it is now. But for the love of God, once this whole goddamn thing is done, dusted, and officially over, and we can actually do the shit we did before this fucking thing started, just let me go to Florida with my boys. Let me go to Super Saiyan and Waffle House, maybe even an In-N-Out Burger. Let me have those things. Because at this point, man, just fuck.
And I'm just going to end this news cycle with some video game news. Just so
hey, let's do that.
So Kenny Omega did an interview with IGN Japan, and something to note is that, the development team is trying to get the game out by the end of the year, but if they don't, they're not going to rush things.
They have an idea of a date they want for the end of the year, but they're not putting it in concrete just yet. Which is
That's what it's best to do. That's always best, to say, we want to get to the end of the year, but we'd rather, want to make, especially because it's the first AEW video game, they need to get this thing right from the get-go.
Yeah.
More than anything else. They also revealed that the GM mode will be exclusively a mobile game and not in the video game itself.
That makes sense.
And that he's also on top of the AKI and SmackDown games that the team is going to be taking maybe a few influences from King of Coliseum.
So, the THQ Aki Quadrilogy and N64. You got the Ukes guys working on it, and they're influenced by not only that, but King of Coliseum. Folks, if you don't have a boner right now, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah,
personally, I'm half chub, but I'm surprised Tito hasn't busted a nut yet.
I'm waiting to see official video game footage.
That makes sense, actually.
I've been burned too many times by too many devs. Just let me see the video game footage first, then I should judge. But things are looking up here from what we're seeing, and that's what I got.
All right, we got a couple of minutes. I'm not going to hit the actual music, but if you folks in there have a question, we got time to kill in the pay-per-view, the preview. That's probably not going to take too long. Go right ahead. Q&A time, folks. And JC in the chat, another news, the Rascals debuted on NXT as MSK. They did. On my list for later, if you know what I mean.
Yep, good to hear their debut.
Yeah.
Here they picked up 3, and interesting new names they have.
So yeah. I mean, they've WWE'd them a little bit, but it makes sense.
I just have to wonder what MSK stands for.
I would like to know that too. Oh, Devin in the chat. MSK 3K. No. Just simple MSK. That was a forced Mystery Science Theater joke, and you know it. Anyway. JC, question. What wrestler's theme would be best as a sea shanty?
Let's see, obviously the most obvious one would be Kairi Sane's theme.
I mean, there goes, but as a sea shanty, as in with lyrics and everything else, maybe Sheamus's first theme?
Oh, yeah. It's a shameful thing, lobster head, a careless man could wind up dead.
I mean, sea shanties have like a folk-like, Celtic-like feel to them. So anything that's Celtic in that vein would fit. So
I also think that Sami Zayn's theme could work.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see, what else? Trying to I think there's some other songs that could work in that regard. Maybe Judas by Fozzy?
Oh, maybe.
Oh! Tarzan Boy. That could work.
Oh, yeah, there we go. JC in the chat. Which Royal Rumble victory had the most industry impact?
Steve Austin.
Austin.
Austin in 98.
Yeah. Next. I mean, Austin in 98. The next to that, Ric Flair in 92, maybe?
I don't think that had exactly industry impact, though.
No.
I can't think of anything else where, like, after that, like, everything changed. After that victory, just the whole wrestling world changed. That's the only one I could think of. Where it's like, after that, history went on a whole other course, and everything picked up. Because after Steve Austin won the Royal Rumble, he won at WrestleMania, went on to become one of, if not the biggest star in American wrestling.
Oh, here's a good one from Devin the Great. Question: favorite Attitude Era pay-per-view?
Possibly WrestleMania either 14 or 17. I'll see that Backlash 01's pretty good. I have to actually go back and watch that sometime.
Backlash 01 comes to mind. I mean, you'd have the list, and obviously I'm going to refrain from using X7 here or any WrestleManias, because most WrestleManias thumbs up, except for maybe 99, except for the main event in that case. I could give you a couple of suggestions if you want to watch some decent pay-per-viewage. SummerSlam 98, The Highway to Hell, Madison Square Garden. That was a boss thing. Let's see. Backlash 2000 comes to mind.
The debut of the Biker Taker, I believe.
Biker Taker happened Fully Loaded 2000.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Though that was not a bad choice. So that's actually another one that Fully Loaded. Wait. It was Judgment Day 2000, because Fully Loaded was The Rock versus Name Redacted.
Steve Richards?
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Wink, nudge, nudge. JC, if you could have any wrestler face his own alter ego, Ethan Page versus the Karate Man, who would you pick? And that's a tough question, because
I'm going to go with something I was reminded of thanks to X3 on Twitter. Cactus Jack versus Mankind versus Dude Love.
I mean, that's the obvious one. You know, that because not a whole lot of wrestlers have that alter ego kind of stuff. I mean, you could have Sugar Shane Helms versus the Hurricane if that's a possibility.
We got Bray Wyatt versus Firefly Funhouse Bray versus The Fiend.
If you want to go even deeper, Husky Harris.
Oh, there you go. Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah, there you go. Kane versus Dr. Isaac Yankem, the DDS, maybe? Throwing fake Diesel for a triple threat, maybe?
Doc Gallows versus Festus.
No, God. No, that's not a match. That's a squash. And not for Festus, for fucking Luke Gallows, dude. No. Handicap match. Festus versus Luke Gallows and Sex Ferguson. Book that shit.
Now, Ferguson is the referee.
Taco Shopomania 3, brother.
That Festus is Sex Ferguson's the ref.
No, part of me says he would take it over if he did. It would have to be Sex Ferguson versus Festus with Luke Gallows as the referee.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that would work better. Talking Shopomania 3.
With Special Enforcer, the Cock Torturer.
Oh, God, yes. Loser loses his balls.
My balls.
And at the end of the damn show, Scott Steiner shows up and the internet blows up for no reason again. I want Talking Shopomania 3 in case you haven't noticed.
They'll be coming around the corner before we know it, I'm sure.
Please. I'm jonesing. I'm jonesing. Not going to lie.
I'm sure by the end of March it'll be here.
Thank God. Could not be here soon enough, if you ask me. All right. Anything else from the chat there? No?
I also
One
have
more.
another Alter Ego match. Christopher Daniels versus Curry Man.
Oh, God. Yes. Yes, please. All right, JC, you are given the power to book Keith Lee in a match in AEW once. Who do you have him wrestle?
Cage. Brian Cage.
Yeah, Haas fight. Because really, technically speaking, they're both the same in an in-ring presentation kind of thing. Obviously, Cage is buff and Keith Lee is Keith Lee, but there's magic in that match, man. There's magic in that match.
They're both big, beefy men that can do flippy floppies.
I think back to Dominic Dijakovic versus Keith Lee, that feud. Multiply that with Brian Cage instead of Dijakovic. And let's not bring up the fact that he's in the worst faction right now. Let's not do that.
What are you talking about? That's not Donovan douchebag. That's Teabag.
Dijakovic. Get it right, dude. Even I got that. Got it right eventually. Anyway. But yeah, Keith Lee versus Brian Cage is an obvious pick. I would love to see Keith Lee versus Cody Rhodes. Both men are storytellers in that sense.
That's a good point there.
There's a part of me that it would be intriguing. How would both men, maneuver that matchup? There's a curiosity factor in that. All right. On that curious but good note, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a quick 30-second switch break. When we come back, we talking good stuff. Good brothers in the main event of an Impact pay-per-view called Heart Scale. When we come back, do not go too far.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Tired, achy back got you up against the ropes. Burning, itchy hemorrhoids making you cry for mommy. Performance anxiety making you feel embarrassed and like less of a man. Introducing Elite Cold Spray. The #1 cure for dry eye syndrome. Elite Cold Spray. If you order now at YoungBucksMerch.com, we will throw in a complimentary can. Elite Cold Spray, the preferred dry eye cure. Oh my God! This product doesn't even work, guys. It pisses me off. Who even planned this whole thing?
This is WMOB Mobile, 12 on your channel dial and 12 in the TV ratings.
And we're back here, RBT Entertainment Production, the Wrestle Cast. Automatic, Spotify, YouTube, we're live on Twitch. Matty and T-Dub here with you. Shin is feeling under the weather. He will join us next week for what we are about to discuss, at least the review, I'm assuming. Then again, you're never sure. Hard to Kill. They are in Nashville at the Skyway Studios. No fans in attendance. It is a closed-door production. And presented Saturday, January 16, 20 of 21. Here's how it is. The pre-show, the kickoff, or whatever you want to call it, Brian Meyers versus Josh Alexander. That should be a pay-per-view match, if you ask me. Or at least on Impact.
It could be, but, there's already 8 other matches.
They got 8 matches. They got an 8-match card. They're loaded anyway, but still. But we're just going to go with, obviously the main event will be the 6-man, but here the Wikipedia is done doing this thing where there's no main event. Fuckers. We have, so we're just going to go to the top of the card, all the way to the top of the card, see what happens. Rosemary and Crazy Steve versus Tennille Dashwood with Caleb, with a K, is an intergender tag team match. Intergender rules.
I could easily see Rosemary and Crazy Steve picking up a victory here.
Same here, but they're building up Tennille Dashwood, so it's a coin flip. Though Rosemary versus Tennille Dashwood, Rosemary being the crap or eating Tennille Dashwood. Though part of me is expecting a interference from Susie. Susan Young. I mean, officially they're calling her Susie, but
No, now she's Susan, which is the third alter ego. Susie is the one that looks really young.
Yeah, either way, she looks like a Karen without the makeup, which is weird. But I expect interference from that, is what I'm trying to say.
It's amazing just how versatile a performer Su Yung is, because there's Su Yung, who looks demonic, then there's Susie, who looks super innocent, and I got Susan, who looks like a Karen.
Pretty much. Pantsuit and everything. Next up is...
I'm so sad that Shin's not here.
I'm so sad. I feel bad for Shin, because he would be... If nothing else, he would be putting this match over as the main event. Like, this would be main. Fuck everything else. But, goddamn. Our boy!
At least we got his reaction on Tuesday.
Oh, he was so happy to see that. We all were, to be fair. Our boy, Ethan, all ego Ethan Page. Look as good as he is. Taking on the Karate Man. That is such a cinematic match, but who the hell cares? I want to see what happens now. I'm not picking a winner. I just want to see what happens.
Whoever loses, the fans win.
Yeah, pretty much.
Also, my prediction: more torture.
More torture. No, not more torture, asshole. Oh, that sounded good. Surprisingly unplanned, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, Eddie Edwards versus Sammy Callahan, the Barbed Wire Massacre. 3 words, boys and girls. There will be blood.
4 words.
Go ahead.
And this is definitely a match that will feature more torture.
Yeah, but I didn't hear you the 4 words there, though.
No, you said 4 words. When you believe you said 3 words.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, 4 words. There will be blood. But yeah, there will be more torture. Oh, absolutely. I'm not calling anything, because at this point, this is pretty much the if this was WWE, this would be like a natural build to Hell in a Cell. You know what I mean? That much hatred.
And yep, these two have been feuding for like the past 2 years. And just various matches. So I think this might just be the feud ender, maybe.
One would assume.
I mean, there's going to be barbed wire all over the place. These guys are going to get cucked to hell.
Mm-hmm. Because this is a TNA/Impact sort of signature match, Barbed Wire Massacre. And the past few matches, blood. Just blood.
And of course, the one they showed in the background to hype this up was Abyss versus Sabu, which I remember watching that live on pay-per-view. That was pretty brutal.
Yeah. And this is Sammy Callahan versus Eddie Edwards. It's going to get brutal.
Who would have thought that like 5 years ago, when he was still in Ring of Honor, that Eddie Edwards would be the hardcore guy?
It didn't even start off as that. He was like the technical guy. Hell, he was Pro Wrestling Noah's GHC World Champion. Their world champ.
It's interesting just how his characters evolve, because like when me and Matty first started watching Ring of Honor, he was just one of their most technical wrestlers.
The All-American Wolves. Remember that? I mean, seriously. That's how old this show is. Fuck, I'm old. Woo! Next up, 6-man tag. Eric Young, Cody Deaner, and Joe Doring versus Cousin Jake, Rhino, and Tommy Dreamer in an old school 6-man tag match. Basically ECW rules for those wondering, because that's pretty much what they're implying here.
You know, old school from that one company that used to exist in South Philadelphia back in the 90s.
Basically, it's the legally distinct match, if you catch my drift.
As Mildred would say, the best kind of distinct.
Yes.
As I'm sure Impact's lawyers would also say.
Yep.
And I expect Eric Young and his crazy crew to pick up a victory after, once again,
yeah, the way they're building the Eric Young's new stable, so to speak, this makes sense as like the Eric Young wins match. I think this is probably the 1 or 2 solid picks we could, or 3 solid picks we could probably pick up on.
Yeah, and there's going to be a lot of blood on this card, honestly, looking at it. A lot more than I thought.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Hard to Kill's an apt name when you think about it now. Just on the undercard. Hopefully they space it out a little bit. It would be my suggestion there, but we'll see.
Yeah, don't do back-to-back bloody matches.
No.
Then you just run the risk of running it a bit thin there.
Yeah. Next up, Deonna Perazzo versus Taya Valkyrie for the Impact Knockouts Women's Championship.
Deonna Perazzo has definitely shown that she is definitely a very capable wrestler, and Taya Valkyrie is an absolute veteran, so this should be one hell of a match.
Keep the belt on Perazzo. That'd be my call. But that should be a solid matchup for sure.
And I think this victory will do wonders for her, beating one of the biggest names in their division.
Yeah, the longest reigning Knockouts champion in that company's history, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, Triple Threat Impact X Division Championship. The champion Manic, taking on Chris Bay, and Rohit Raju. I'm going to say this right now. All 3 love the gimmicks. Simple as that. Love the gimmicks.
Indeed, and this should be a whole bunch of flippy floppies.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So many flippy floppies, especially from Bay and Manic.
Should, anyway. In the semi-main, I guess we'll call it semi-main spot for now. Impact, a tag team match for it was the vacant Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship. Yes, women's tag team division in Impact. It's just they're calling it Havoc, but it's Jessica Havoc and Nevea. Yeah, it's the A that throws me off. Nevea versus Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz. Winner becomes the tag champs. I refer you to. I would like to see a Jessica Havoc pile driver as a finish, because that is a finish. That should be a finish, and I like that finish. It's a holy shit one.
I'm personally calling Hogan and Steelz to pick up the victory.
That makes sense, yeah.
And I gotta say, the new tag belts looking pretty spiffy.
They showed the belts briefly in a segment on Impact this week. I did manage to finish watching. For those wondering, I left Rift down early because I had to go and be a friend for a little while. I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but I did finish watching Impact. They had a heck of a good go-home show. I did see the Impact Women's Tag, the Impact, the Knockouts Tag. They look good. to get on the roundabout way, they look really good. Just saying.
And JC also predicts Steels and Hogan to pick up the victory. All righty then.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, either or is a solid pick anyway. And in the main event, and this is where we have to announce a little bit of a card change because of what Impact calls unforeseen or unforeseen changes, or they couldn't see it coming, and we can't. We got to change it. No choice now. The Good Brothers and Kenny Omega. The Good Brothers, of course, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. Don Gallows will be ringside event, apparently. Will take on the team of Rich Swann, Chris Sabin, and Moose. Now you're wondering, wait. Where's the other guy? They say they had to change the card. Nothing was announced. Like we don't know if it's COVID-19 related or not. But it was a card. It was deemed a necessary change. There was unsurmountable situations. Let me get the actual tweet for you, and we will do that. But that's the 6-man now. It's a Moose, the Impact World Champ, Rich Swann, and Chris Sabin taking on Kenny and the Good Bros. That's the assumed main event.
They called it Extraordinary Circumstances.
Extraordinary Circumstances. Yeah. So
look at this here. Let's say they called it due to unavoidable circumstances, he'll be unable to travel to Nashville.
Yeah.
So it could be an injury. It might be a sickness. It might be family related.
Something happened that they won't divulge, but that's the unavoidable circumstances is what it is. They tried to avoid it. They couldn't avoid it. Oh, well, on to the next one.
And JC, I don't think Kenny's going to pin Rich Swann. I think maybe I was going to say one of the Machine Guns gets pinned, but now that Moose is in the match, I'm thinking maybe Moose or Sabin gets pinned.
Yeah, because now you want the belt. Because here's the thing. Obviously, Kenny and the Good Brothers win because you want to keep Kenny strong and you want to keep building that Impact quote-unquote invasion. So in this case, the only thought comes to, okay, let's do the thing. What thing? The thing. And if you truly want to protect Rich Swann, you don't want him to have the pin, or if you want to promote a match between Rich Swann and Kenny Omega, obviously Rich would have would have to pin each other in that case. Moose has a belt. Kenny is a belt collector. There's an out. It's an unforeseen option, but it is an option.
Could you imagine if Kenny pins Moose and then just walks away with his TNA World title, just like, nope, now mine now, bye.
I mean,
mine.
It's unrecognized as Impact for an Impact, so it could happen. It could happen, and then Moose chases Kenny in AEW because hey, that's my belt, damn it, my narrative.
You know, if it wasn't for the unforeseen circumstances of Alex Shelley, I was really hoping that the Motor City Machine Guns and Rich Swann would have shown up on this week's Dynamite to really hype up that pay-per-view match.
Oh, that would have been, yeah. I think actually the only thing is that night was taped. I think that was the only thing that happened.
Yeah, I still wish they would have had at least Rich Swann show up to finally show up. Come on, it's like you've been invading my yard every week now. Now it's my turn. I'm not going to say my call because at this point I'm not calling this one. You're on your own, folks. But I do have a scenario in my head where Rich Swann pins Kenny Omega. Say that there was a big thing, big schmoz, and then Kenny gets caught in a move or a roll-up or pick your poison. Rich Swann wins the match for his team, and then cuts a promo saying, "Hey, Mr. Khan, that invite's still good." Fade to black. Do the math, folks. Another scenario you could have is him pinning one of the Good Brothers, and then he could still make a surprise show up on Dynamite the next week. Because I believe this Wednesday will be live.
The only way that would work is if one of the Motor City Machine Guns did that to continue that feud.
That could also possibly happen.
So that's the only thing I could think of as far as that scenario is concerned. But for right now, I don't know.
This is definitely going to
lots of possible situations here.
Oh yeah, and I think that no matter what, this match should be pretty damn good.
All right. Well, that being said, we got winners and losers to take care of, and we begin with losers, and we begin with T-Dub.
I'm going to give it to Vince McMahon because earlier this week, Lita divulged some information about the much controversial live sex celebration with Edge, and apparently she was super uncomfortable with the whole thing, and Edge and John Cena backed her up saying, like, yep, you shouldn't have to do this.
So basically, long story short, no consent was given. Junior.
Which just makes the whole segment even creepier.
I mean,
like apparently nobody involved wanted to do it. And Vince was like, nope, you're all doing it. It's just like, and if he actually threatens to fire Lita if she didn't go through with it, which is like, holy fuck.
Folks, no is no. Even if you're a billionaire. Jesus Christ. That's one of the reasons why WWE is on my losers list this week, and I'll just leave it at that because I think WWE's loser in pernitum. That's not a word. They even in Latin. It's a permanent loser until they get their head out of their own ass, so that's going to take a couple of decades. Drew McIntyre, just bad fucking luck. Just bad luck with COVID, man. Can't help it.
Thankfully, he's not. He's
asymptomatic. The good news is he's asymptomatic, and you know what? It could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, at least he's still able to get his cardio in. It seems so. He's not going to be bedridden for 2 weeks.
I knock on wood sincerely. And Jade Cargill. I know I shouldn't have to. She's still young. She's still green. But, lady, get a promo coach. Work on that fucking promo. Until then, in the ring or it's insta-mute.
All right, time for some winners.
To get my point across. Let's do some winners, T-Dub. Let's do that.
The person on Twitter who put forth this scenario, which sounds bad at first until we get to the finish, the main finish, the big finish.
All right.
They suggested, if Goldberg wins WWE title from Drew McIntyre, then Miz should cash in and make Goldberg tap out to the worst figure 4 of all time because it's what he deserves.
You know what? You know what? Golf clap. Okay. Sold. Sold. If it makes Goldberg look like a bitch, sold. you got.
And of course, my main winner, of course, is going to be -1 for his birthday next week, which he gets to celebrate with a whole bunch of wrestlers once again.
All right, on my end, Darby Allin versus Brian Cage. That was an excellent main event. MSK making their debut on NXT. Godspeed, boys. Obviously, Impact Wrestling, they're going to have a pay-per-view, and they're going to make some money off of that pay-per-view. Knocking on wood once again. And the staff and crew over that NGTTWF. Now, if you're wondering what the fuck that is. Basically, it's an amalgamation of NGT, which is Next Gen Talent, and the TTWF, which is the TikTok Wrestling Federation. They got together, and that's the acronym. Basically, promo battle league. Think rap battles, but with wrestling promos. I recently joined them. They have a Discord. It's available on TikTok at Next Gen Talent or at TTWF, if I remember correctly. Bunch of people come promos. Some of them are fun. Some of them are creepy. And I will tell you, I joined their Discord. A lot of them need some Discord manners, but most of them absolutely chill. So they're a winner, and I actually, little known fact, I actually started doing TikTok promo battles, and I won my first match today. I won one. I could cut a decent promo.
Yeah! By the way, another winner too, Shinsuke Nakamura, because he announced on Twitter he brought back the Rising Sun.
Dude. Wait. His first theme?
Yeah, just the instrumental version. It's we
need a crowd back in that building. Stat. Ah.
Right, yeah, he's officially back to a babyface. That's a babyface theme.
Absolutely.
Now give him just one roll talent, just one. Just give him a roll talent. You can't do it. Give him a roll talent, just one. Just give him a roll talent. You motherfuckers!
Look, I love heel Roman Reigns. And anyone else in that position, I would go keep belt on Reigns till Mania. That is the sensible decision. But I'm with T-Dub. Put belt on Nakamura. Put belt on Nakamura. Put belt on Nakamura.
Or they could have Nakamura perhaps win the Rumble again, and even if he does win the Rumble, maybe find a way to WrestleMania through the Chamber.
I got an idea on that. We'll have Kevin Owens win the Rumble and beat the crap out of Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Because fuck yes!
I can go with that as well.
Even if it's just a Universal title again, my boy with the belt like that, come on. That's a fucking ending. Anyway. Well, we usually would plug Shintigercurl. He's got a YouTube channel at youtube.com/Massacre. And of course, you could his new book, New Worlds, available on Amazon for both Kindle and digital Kindle and physical copies. T-Dub, you rebranded your channel, dude.
I actually started a brand new YouTube channel. I still have the old one up, perhaps for archive purposes. But now I have a new YouTube channel up. And it's going to be where I upload all my new videos from this point forward.
And I'm assuming the Patreon comes along as well?
Yep, patreon.com/TWK reviews for all new videos. If you want to see them a little early, go there.
Took the words right out of my mouth, my friend. Patreon.com/TWK reviews. Of course, my tip jar is always available at paypal.me/MattyJ316. Donations are optional, but always appreciated. And again, of course, you can follow us on Twitter at MattyJ316, at TWKOfficial, and at Shintigercurl.com. And for my TikTok, some asshole took 316, so I have to use at MattyJWC for Wrestle Cast, of course. That being said, that's the show, everybody. All right, we were a little short, but why the fuck not? That's going to do it for us this week, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Shintigercurl, who I believe says hi, and of course my good buddy TWK.
With the TWK reviews telling you work your gimmick and stay safe. Please stay safe, please.
For the love of God, stay safe. And if you do happen to be in contact, please get yourself checked out. Better to know than not to know. But my name is Matty J, reminding you to help professional wrestling, support your independent promotion as soon as possible. We'll talk to you next week, folks. January, the Rumble cometh. The Rumble cometh. Have a good one, have a safe one. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Next week, live on Dynamite. First time ever, a three-way match to decide who is going to be the official tag team of the Inner Circle. And I think it's going to be MJF and Jericho.
I'm inclined to agree. Yeah, real funny. I think it's going to be Santana and Ortiz.
And again, I'm going to have to disagree with everybody because it's going to be Sammy and Hager.
Championships! Yeah!
That's right, baby. Sammy and Hager. That's who it's going to be.
Sammy Hager?
Sammy and Hager.
That's funny.
Why is that funny?
Never mind.